Alright, so today we have a pretty simple task ahead of us. What I need to do is I need to update BMS to the latest runtime of Skyrim Special Edition. There's really not much to it, besides maybe updating a few mod files. With the AE update, there's been a lot of mod authors that have decided to push new work out, so I just need to check and see if there's a new version for the old SE 1.5.97 release. If not, I'll just ignore the update and continue on. I do also have a few small things written on the to-do board, so we'll see about getting to those. Some of these are pretty important. We do need to regenerate the map terrain lot gen, and hopefully I can get around to fixing the tree billboards, but we'll have to see. If not, I might have to wait for a future update. Other than that, we got a bunch of bug fixes here. I don't know if I'll get around to doing any of these. Hopefully I will. Alright, so I've been working on updating all the mods in BMS to the latest version, and I have done this so many times at this point that I just can't stop but help and think, God, there's gotta be some better way to do this. It is such a pain in the ass. Let me show you why. Alright, so let me explain to you exactly why this is such a problem. So here we are at the mod archive. So after you download this, you put this into Mod Organizer 2 and you install it. And then what you get is this series of files over here. You get quite a few. You get the plugin, you get other things like NIFs. So NIFs are like the 3D models, which have textures coming off of them. You have scripts, which are these PEX files, the Swift interface files, and WAVE files. These are the sound and audio files. Anyway, we don't care about these three right now. BMS focuses on NIFs and textures, of course. So what is the problem here? Well, the problem is that I have these three places where things can go absolutely wrong. I can have textures that mismatch other textures. I can have a mod when I'm updating another mod overwrite the textures. I can have it overwrite meshes, the NIFs, or I can have record overwrites in the plugin. And all three of these points are places for potential failure, places that I could mess up or that any human can mess up. I don't want these three places for failure. I don't want any errors, and all this can happen every time I update a single mod. It just happens when you are doing things like this. And unfortunately, I just don't have a quality assurance division that all has to fall on me, and that is a problem. So as it stands now, what I have to do is I have to go through all the mods one by one in my mod list individually. I have to go to their mod page. I have to look at the latest version, see if it's compatible, and then I have to go through and I have to download it, and then I have to cross-compare all the records in the plugin, see which conflicts I want to win out. I have to check the assets individually, all the meshes. I have to see if the meshes are the same, if anything's changed. Oh, it's so frustrating. It's like, no, there's gotta be a better way of doing this. I just don't know. But I mean, it's standard practice, right? Everybody else does it. No, come on. You just buckle in and do it. I can't be the only one with this problem, and there's not a solution yet. No, there's gotta be a better way. Can't believe there's got to. Maybe this is something that can be fixed. Maybe. I think I might be onto something. So I don't know how, but it turns out that I've made the biggest mistake of my life. I've been installing mods on and off for the last 10 years, and I can't believe that I didn't think of it sooner. But to be fair, this is really buried deep, and there's a lot more to this than I just could have possibly imagined. In this whole process of installing mods, there's just so many places that things could get wrong. I showed you 3 places before, but it turns out there's much more than that. There's a whole web to this mod installation thing, and I think Vortex might be onto something. No, that can't be it. That can't be it. Mod Organizer 2 is the superior mod manager. It's got to be. It's a lie. This virtual file system that has been a part of my modding experience has been hindering me some. I can't believe it. How have I not known this my whole entire modding career? How did I not know this? Why is everybody leading me onto Mod Organizer 2 when there's Vortex right over here with its simple file overwrites? No virtual directories, no virtual files, no nothing. Simple install, overwrite, bam. Except it doesn't let you compare. Not even Mod Organizer 2 lets you compare. I mean, it lets you compare textures. What about 3D models? Audio. How do you compare them, and how do you keep track of them? With an arbitrary amount of files and an arbitrary amount of file types, arbitrary amounts of data, how do you compare and not get yourself confused? How do you not make issues? I can't believe it. It's just impossible. There's no way. I've never expected that I'd say this in my whole entire life, but how can installing a mod have so many problems? I mean, everywhere you're faced with a decision, as soon as you install, what if there's a plugin file? What if there's no plugin files? What if it's replacing an older version of the mod? What if you need to have record patches in your plugin? What if you need to merge 2 script files? Or what if you need to make edits to a WAV file? How do you know when to keep an existing file, replace, or merge? What if you get the order of operations backwards? What if you need to update your mod in the future? What if there's a faux mod? What if you select one option one time and another option another time? And what if 6 months down the road, you install the same version of the mod, but the faux mod has changed? How can anybody possibly keep track of that? Every single decision you make and every single mistake that you make could have ramifications if you slip up somewhere down the road. If there are mods replacing other mods, there could be issues. If you are adding new files, there could be issues. At every step of the road, there is a challenge for you to overcome, and there's no way that a human can make those kind of decisions without 0 mistakes. It's impossible to install mods without making some form of mistakes. There's just so many different things that could go wrong and that do go wrong every time you or I or anyone online installs a mod, no matter how good they are. And as you keep adding mods, that arbitrary amount of choices gets getting bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually the bubble bursts and you are going to slip up and make a mistake. I just don't know how anyone hasn't thought of this sooner. There's got to be some way to automate this process that checks to make sure that everything is okay. Something that will guide you step by step and show you all the decisions that you have to make and help you to make those decisions yourself. Obviously, a computer can't choose which overwrites are going to be beneficial for a certain mod list or what is going to be great for the end user, but there needs to be some sort of step-by-step wizard that'll guide you through it. I mean, there's installations, Mod Organizer 2 that have been in existence, plugins for MO2 are a thing, and they allow you to code the whole interface through Python, for example. I've looked into it. I've been spending my whole night wrapping my head around this. I just can't believe nobody's thought of it sooner. Nothing has gotten down to this level yet, and nobody has thought of making a foolproof way of installing a mod without issues. There's got to be somebody crazy enough to undertake such a project. I mean, I myself, I have no Python experience whatsoever. I can't code. I barely passed my data structures course in college. I can't be the one to make this. Surely there's got to be somebody else. No. Or can it? I mean, somebody's got to do it, and the modding community is getting smaller and smaller each day, but somebody's got to make a foolproof way of installing a mod without issues. I don't know where this rabbit hole is going to take me. I don't know where I'm going to end up if I fail or succeed, or if I'm going to make a new revolutionary way of installing mods on Mod Organizer 2. But one thing's for certain, I'm going to need to learn the Mod Organizer 2 plugin API, and I'm going to need to learn some Python. So, I'll catch you in the next video.